Hello, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Looking for a sell on gold right now. Want to see if price can move down, but I'm waiting for a support to be first formed right over here, and then look for a sell continuation. Because we got a lot of bearish momentum in the market. You all are doing well. All right, let's get this. Maybe I'm gonna wait for a little bit more of a pullback towards the support right over here by 44.60. 44.60. We should be getting the London Open here in about like 20 seconds. So let's draw out what we want to see. So what we want to see is this candle come down like this, and then we're going to visualize what we want to see. Then we want to see next candle go up, and then the next candle, market's going to do what it does at the end of the day. It could even blast through this level. Then the next candle do this. Then that would be the entry confirmation right there for me. See if we can create that support. Excuse me. Right, so perfect. Candlesticks closed. Now I'm waiting for this candle here to reflip on the 5-minute. You see 5-minute? Oh wow, look at that. Friggin' volume just came in. 5-minute just created a top wick. So you see we've created like a pretty healthy top wick. We've broken above some resistance here. Right, so now I want to see this low get broken so price can continue to move down bearish. So it's just gotta be patient here when it's coming up like this. Right now, I think the safest bet is definitely like a sell. Because you'll be grabbing some orders up there. Hey, good morning, Nancy. It could shoot up. It could shoot up, but I think I'm gonna stick with my guns over here. Look at that liquidity grab. Starting to look a bit like a liquidity grab there on the 1-minute. Pretty strong wick that is. Now we just need to see this thing tumble. I'm noticing a lot of like bearish momentum though. So these buys, I've noticed whenever like price starts to buy, it fluctuates like this. It's been fluctuating like this, showing a lot of seller strength today. So hopefully we can get stuck in. This is a pretty nice probability trade over here. High probability trades like this, sometimes you gotta expect some kind of slippage. So let's see if we can get stuck in properly here at like 44.60. Because everybody will be willing to get in at 44.60. So I hope we get that gradual entry. Get a stress-free trade here. Because candle is about to flip on the 5. Let's see if it's respecting that support. Oh, close right at support. Let's see. Looks like it closed right at support. This is a London open volatility. We got that 8 SMA in our favor too. Come on, we're the sellers. Dump it. Hi, I'm new here. Welcome, Aizen. Welcome to the best London session stream here on YouTube. So let's see what we're gonna get here today. All right. Starting to see some rejections. Let's see if that's gonna close like support. Wait for these lows to get broken. Come on, tumble, dump it, Goldie, dump it. You got a few rejections here too. Got 1, 2, 3 rejections within this general zone. What's my view on today's news? Yeah, we're gonna have a look at that soon. Today we got ADP, right? Yeah, we got the ADP. Come on, gold, weaken. It's gonna create a support. It's gonna create maybe a market fade. Potential market fade. Entry over here. We're trading against the SMAs. We need to get through these SMAs to that 8 and 50. The bulls are really kicking in here. Look at this. We just closed above here. This could become a fake out confluence if we can get price to come down. So that'll be like a false close above resistance. This minor resistance here. And then that's going to become like a fakey. A fakey with an additional rejection wicks over there too. For price to break the lows and then to get through this level. This is a minor level of support over here. So we can continue to move down bearish. So I want to see this become a fake out. This could be just like a little trap. So I'm still sticking with my guns down over here. And I'm okay with missing any kind of like a buy position, you know. Could be like a buy position right over here if it breaks above 44.64. But I'm just going to wait. Because I think if the sells come in, they're going to come in like pretty heavy over there. See, now it's faking them out. It's trying to, at least it's pulling back. Giving them fake out vibes. Usually how fake out feels like. The moment like price does that and then starts to go opposite direction, typically how fake out is, right? That's how fake out feels like. So let's see if it's gonna wash these lows, because if it takes out these lows at this point, I don't see a reason why not to continue moving down bearish. You know, if it doesn't take out, if it takes these lows and then goes back up, then I don't know what it is. Would be nice to get it on a new 5 minute, a fresh 5 minute, but you know, it's still okay. Those 5 minutes can still run. It's coming out, it's coming down to take them out. It's about to take them out, the buyers. It's about to hit their stops. All right, I got triggered in there. Just took out their stops. Got about 2 minutes for the new 5 minute open. Hope I'm out the liquidity grab. But it just did take out the 5-minute lows. Oh, come on, Goldie. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. That was strong pullback over here. Oh, man. Looks like I was a liquidity as well. It took out these buyers and then it just put me in and then did this. I really like that setup too. I had a small feeling just mainly because of that 5-minute though. You know, that 5-minute felt a bit extended to the downside, but still pretty nice setup. And look at this candlestick. How did a 1-minute candle just skyrocket up like 40 pips? I guess the wick break liquidity type of moves are a little bit nicer, but this is also still part of it too. Like, cause it didn't break the highs up over here, but even a candlestick body situation like that is still, you know, it's still kind of like those little fake out situations. Yeah, I think that's all it was. It just went to get, I guess, in the scenario, the sellers, because there's no reason why this candlestick would have come down like that then to trigger and then pull back up like this. Look at the 5-minute, those SMAs really mess the move. Yeah, I mean, it got the SMAs there too, but you know, it's like the price action. It's a price action. Look at that wick. It's like it didn't need to do that really if it wanted to move up. It didn't have to take that zone out. It could have just like stopped pushing up here based off like some kind of a shotgun play. It's a brutal grab. Crazy thing is we're still quite bearish on the daily though. And we hit our target by 4,500. So we're by like 4,500 psychological. Right over here too. Would have been nice to see a further, a deeper retracement. Maybe take out these previous daily lows. Yeah, I got whipped today. Brutal. It's literally like, you know, it's funny thing, that same thing that happened to me yesterday during the pre New York session too. 0.93. Yeah, same thing that happened to me during pre-NY. This was at 616. Which is where, let's see that trade. Yeah, I think I took a sell over here. Was that what? The break of these lows? I think it was like somewhere around here. And price consolidated, or like just tiny little sideways movement there. Then 1 minute candlestick just out of nowhere. Like this thing literally pushed up like 20 pips in just a few seconds. Like that. Then at that point, I pretty much knew what was going to happen. This was like on, let's see, on the 5 minute. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I kind of wish I waited a bit longer because the buy setup also would look like really nice at the break of the highs over there too. Because this was anyway pre-NY, so possibly, you know, the sells already pretty much cleared throughout the London. But I thought we could get like a sell continuation. But it just completely like went up like this. Damn, Goldie. Don't really like that trade right now, though. How much did I even see on that? Nothing. Oh well. What's this? Today she let me down. BE now. Look at the 5 minute. What's this? Girl. Get it, girl. German 40. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Let's see. This is the market condition here. A little bit of a liquidity grab down below support by 44.60. Sharks in it. Yep. So you gotta close above resistance. Got this next resistance point. It's kind of playing out on this little shotgun on the 15 minute to push upwards. Just push like 64, 65 pips to fill this range. Man, tough. That's one PA that I really dislike when market create, because you see like how structure just looks normal. It just looks normal here. It doesn't seem like it's doing any grabs, and then you get these types of situations. It's quite annoying if you don't see it in your favor in confluence. Then it's yeah, it's like you can't use anything like. But if you're looking for a buy, for example, I guess it's nicer to see something like that happen. But man, at the end of the day, these wicks are like really pesky. Like generally speaking, those wicks right there. How much did the other one break? I guess this one kind of still respected. That one kind of still respected these lows. Because when we left stream, we said like maybe like breaks below these lows by 44, 48. Then you could like fill this range. But it still respected that low. I know where it's going, because like there's not like that much room here. You know, it's still gonna have to get through this resistance by 44.69. Get through that resistance, and then there's a clean range about 73 pips. So I wonder like where it's really going. We're gonna wait and see over here. Maybe it's gonna consolidate a bit more. We're gonna try and consolidate here. Consolidate here for a potential break above this resistance on the 5. I posted in funny on Discord. You've been spotted in the wild. Let's see, Vic, you were talking about side hustles the other day. Is this one of yours? What is that? Gbpjpy. What do we got over here? Oh, like, what is that? Like small little gap? Gap fill? Silver's mad to trade. What smashed ATH yesterday though. What is this? Gbpjpy USD sells. A little accumulation break. Price formed the setup I was looking for with even better structure than anticipated. We did have that early setup forming head and shoulders pattern to break and fill the 1 minute range. This was just as the new, also as the new hourly candle was opening. Yeah, we got like an accumulation here. Then it broke above it. Then it does like this was actually pretty nice. Little consolidation reversal play up here. It like broke the lows and then just completely tanked. I also created a what is that? Like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Also got that 8 SMA holding it down. It's actually a really nice confluence, like this reversal play above here. But look at that, it just completely melted even on your entries. Break of the bigger accumulation. And if this was today, then this was already as a daily candlestick was super bearish. Daily bias would have been like bearish here at that point too. A little fake out situation here. Which is typically the head. Nice break even. Pretty nice management on that. And then cash this. But yeah, it's quite interesting why even gold is kind of like moving down during this time, because overall, you know, we should be bullish still like overall, but even like yesterday as well, we were bearish during that pretty much bearish during that whole London session time. They were bearish here. We should actually typically just be moving up. Yeah, we saw moving up here from the pre-NY. This is pre-NY. The London was bearish yesterday, then pre-NY moved up. New York session kept moving up. But this is why, in my opinion, that like we should have been seen. That's like what I was heavily expecting yesterday too. Like that to come in during this time. See, it came in quite late. Now as well, it's kind of strange because the daily is bearish, but the London session is moving up. Now the daily is bearish, so it's like opposite. God damn it. Now let's see if gold can get through that zone then. It's got to get through 44.70 over there. You see, it's like, it's flirting with the idea to break. See how it's like wicking here, right next to that resistance? It's got to get through that resistance. If it gets through that resistance, then yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good there. Man, tough. I hate losing trades like that. These are the trades which really like grind my gears, especially when the candle just looks like that. It's just like a kind of like an FU candle, right? Look at this. It just like sits there. It sits there like it did nothing. Nothing wrong. That long ass wick of it. Long ass wick. And that was literally like what? 2, 8, 9, 2 minutes before the 5-minute close. And it's like, oh, psych. 20 pips. Let's go up the opposite direction. 43 pips. 40 pips in 1 minute. There was news yesterday. It was late. Yesterday we had... Oh, Trump was speaking yesterday at 2 p.m. It was much later on during the day, though. Plus, we didn't get this folder. I think that was like a surprise event. That was like a surprise talk that Trump did. Because we didn't see that yesterday. There's an orange folder. And today we got ADP. ADP, we're actually expecting good numbers over here. Good numbers for the dollar. Increase from negative 32 to 49K. So we should actually see dollar strength today. It's a pretty good probability that that we're gonna come above negative 32. Dollar strength. So maybe for ADP, like you're just gonna watch ADP. ADP is it would like typically does not have as much volume, of course, as something like NFP. Sometimes it does nothing. But that's what we have here for today. Expecting dollar strength. JOLTS Job openings too. It's about 2 hours into the New York session there. I want to give my sell a second chance, you know? But I don't know if it's like if it's gonna liquidity grab me here again, like because it might be trying to break above that resistance. Shite. It's already triggering. It's already freaking triggered. Let's see. Should I wait for the pullback? Where was this entry for real? Right here. All right, I'm gonna give it a shot right now, and see if we can keep going down. Just at break even for the day. Really hope it's not liquidity grabbing today. Oh, come on, Goldie. Don't do this. This candlestick's got a dump. Still heavily bearish though on the daily. That's the thing. We're literally at like 4,500. I gotta be very cautious about this move. Let's see what 5 minutes doing. Yeah, flip, man. I don't know if it's just liquidity grabbing to break the highs. Got about 2 minutes for the 5-minute open. Next 5-minute open. You don't have to take this trade if you don't want to. It's not like the best idea, but I think like since it's already pushed up once and it's trying to break lows again, I'll just give it one shot. But if it does fake out, then that's it. It's most likely just liquidity grabbing again to try and break the highs. And then at that point, that's it. I think that's it for me for the day. Five-minute didn't have a top wick on there. That's it for me, or I'm just going to try again during the pre-NY. Because if I lose this, I'm going to be down about 1%. So I've still got another percent to go for later. If you're not comfortable, you can get out right here, break even. Daily's bearish at least. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's still predominantly bearish, but we got to see like for the session, you know, it's also a session thing because the London session, it's either going to be bullish or we can at least get some kind of continuation on that daily. Either one of those two things. Just got a new 5-minute open. See if it just creates that top wick. Only thing is because I see it reject the highs here by the range is already filled too to the upside. No, the break came in a bit earlier as well. It needs to break that 44.64 area. I don't like the looks of this. This is not a zero drawdown entry. It's not a zero drawdown entry. It's never a good sign. Come on, Goldie. Oh my days. Another whip. Gold. If you're gonna break, just break that area already. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep going down for these grabs? Just break it, man. I swear if it melts right now, that's gonna be crazy. Every time you break your rules on stream, you get an L. Yeah, that's true. Man, but I really wanted to see it. I really wanted to see gold dump. Let's see. How much did it even push from this side? Did it even do 16? No, it didn't do 16. Because of this like this smaller area here where it actually broke sooner. From here. How much did it do? Like about 13? Yeah, it's trying to break this area here. You can see it. Let's see, it's accumulating. It's accumulating right next to that resistance point. Kind of jittery today. The PA. Still no buys if it respects what is that, 44.68. But you would need to break above this wick. Yeah, well, why is it so jittery though? Gold is muscling out treasuries as a foreign reserve asset. Gold is neck and neck with treasuries to become the biggest reserve asset for foreign governments, driven by a year of explosive price gains and aggressive central bank buying. Nobody trusts anyone's fiat. Oh, okay, there's a volume starting to come in here. See how it breaks those highs. That's the accumulation it needs. It needs this accumulation here to get through that zone. So I think today I'm just providing liquidity for the buys and the market is just going up. It's gonna break. See how it breaks. Just pump then, Goldie. Yeah, it's pumping. Look at that. Now it broke properly. See if it gives the buyers a clean follow through of what happens here. But if it's a good trade, it should just follow through. It shouldn't give it such a hard time. It shouldn't be pulling back like too much. It should just follow through. It's usually like these trades which give you a hard time, just really not, it's not a good sign when you see it like do this. But it's supposed to just follow through. Just clean cut through. Even if you look at the 5 minute, right? The 5 minutes freaking extended, but it could still keep pushing here at this point. How much is it up? Like about 28 from the open. Starting to break those highs. Daily's still heavy though. It's still heavy bearish. Still negative 0.56. Wonder if we're gonna get the flip maybe by pre-NY. Yeah, I see. It's just a directional thing. Like sometimes you're just on the wrong side of the market. See, like there was nothing. I don't think there's anything I could have done for any of these sells to play out. Price was just moving upwards. 5-minute got a nice kiss of death in there too. Right here. Yeah, it's a proper trade. Very nice. See, it doesn't even give you a hard time, these buyers. It just broke the highs and then gradually just kept moving up like this. Yesterday. Your daily bias is from Asian as well. Yeah, it's like a different direction for London, it seems here. Even though the daily bias is still overall bearish, the session bias right now is bullish. Finally took above 44.69. So we can mop up that range by like 58 pips. Look like Goldie will break 44.80 resistance. 44.80. Yeah, I mean, like, we gotta get up there first. This is already a pretty nice zone that it's in. See, gold pauses gains. Gold fell to around 44.80 an ounce on Wednesday, pausing its 2-day gains as investors look past geopolitical risks and focus on upcoming US economic data. FOMC member Neil Kashkari recently noted that rising unemployment could further increase the likelihood of reductions. Meanwhile, geopolitical risks remain a key backdrop supporting the metal after US forces captured Venezuela, blah, blah, blah. The White House has also said Trump has not ruled out possibility of military action regarding Greenland, while tensions rose between China and Japan. The vision was yesterday. Man, that's tough. That is tough. That is tough. That is tough. It just had to be the day. Man, it's always the day you're gonna like take more trades that it's the day that it's looking for traders to do the liquidity grabs right here. Because typically it would just keep moving up without needing to break the previous structure zones. Sheesh, man. Yeah, like London was a buy. There was no sell that I could have actually taken here. But that would mean I would have to go counter daily bias though. Holy, why are you running, Goldie?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Yeah, so I'm down about like 1%, so we'll see. My daily cap is 2%. Seems like you caught the last saw potentially. Kind of waiting for this to happen. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. It's a lot clearer. I was trying to like get through this one. You see there's this like small one right here with a small grab above. I'm like, okay, so this one could potentially play out. Like price out breaking below these lows. Then I got in like a bit later, just a little bit later here. It's like, okay, maybe we could see it come down as sort of like a reversal play from this area. But yeah, like I think this would have been like actually the safer one, because that would be the bigger one right here. To break below there to come down to fill that range. Gbpjpy, how long have you been trading for? Because you kind of like caught on to the you kind of caught on to a lot of these things quite fast over there. A lot of these plays. 4 years? Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm going into my 6th year now. Let's see what this is. Gold futures fall on profit taking with focus on US data. Well, it would be nice to see that actually happen. Gold slips in and as investors book profits and turn their focus on key US economic data. The US actions in Venezuela injected new wave of volatility in global markets, boosting the appeal of safe haven assets this week. Still, while the broader structural story remains constructive, particularly for silver, we expect prices at these levels to be increasingly sensitive to profit-taking and shifts in liquidity, leaving scope for sharp but temporary pullbacks, even as the medium-term trends remain supported. What is silver doing? Silver is also bearish on the day. Down about 1.75. Looks like silver is actually setting up a really nice breakout here. Some clean range to keep moving down too. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Goldie, but the way it's moving right now, it's kind of jittery. It's kind of like, it's a little bit volatile. There's a lot of, you know, it's kind of confusing because right now with what's going on with Trump, this thing should actually just keep skyrocketing. Like we can see it on the daily. The daily candlesticks look okay, but it's the intraday timeframes which are a bit like jittery, right? But you see daily candles are actually moving accordingly as price should be moving. We should be moving to 4,500, then 4,600, and then onwards. But we're just getting like a different, like a mixed signal. So just like yesterday's London session, looking for buys, but we're getting those mixed signals and price was predominantly selling. I only had like just one buy. One buy here. We're looking for buys, one buy, and then it was just selling. Correct? And today is also getting like a mixed signal. Daily is so bearish, it's so strong bearish, but price is moving up. Because you can't anticipate that like always 100%, because you see how it's like moving up here. Yesterday you could have had the same mentality. You could have had the same mental model yesterday, but it moved down. You see, it moved down. So what would be the reason for price to move up today? It looks like it came back for more orders again. There's definitely a shark in the water. It came down to take out, if it's trying to like keep moving up bullish. Can you see this candle here, how it closed above that resistance point? Then the next candlestick came, boom, took out the previous highs. See how much profit did it actually do for them. At least decent, like 20 points, but you'd still be stuck in. That's a pretty big candle there, so people would still probably be in that trade. Then you see how like came down aggressively, fetching liquidity right below those lows. Yeah, definitely got a shock in here. Let it fake out the buyers again. But you know, on the plus side, there's a lot of volume in the market, so that's why that's what I'm trying to catch. I can see that at the same time there's some you get triggered in nicely. There's some kind of like pushes here, pretty decent pushes. The one day I traded you? Oh yeah. It's always like that, eh? One day you traded me, the one day I overtrade on stream. That's how you gotta like at the end of the day you just gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent as much as you possibly can. You're not gonna be 100% perfect. Like I've never met, even like from the people I learned from, I've never met somebody as a trader who's 100% like on their mental game. You know, like it's very difficult. Every time you want to like give your trade second chances, you might overtrade sometimes. Never seen a trader be like 100% what do you call it? Like 100% following the rules. But you know, the reason it's okay, or why I think the reason why we also think it's okay is because we know like once we get back on like being 90% is also just enough. Like once you get those small little trades out the way, it's in the long run, it's still okay. I think it's the reason, that's the reason why even, you know, consistent profitable traders still every now and then you gotta hear stories about people like lose so much money or get into some kind of drawdowns or losing streaks. I think it's just a mental thing, because like even Drake says, right? Drake says himself, you gotta give some away to take it all back. It's like you wanna, I don't know what it is, but like you wanna give it away so you can get it all back again. In a sense, that's the kind of mental model. Yeah, it's very difficult. Very difficult to be like a robot. You're not a robot. At the end of the day, you're a human being. You are not perfect, so you will have some errors every now and then. The important thing is that they're not too big of an error, you know, and you're not letting it affect your mental too much. That's the only thing. Like right now, I think the most disciplined thing to do would be to wait for this to calm down a little bit more, because right now it is having a bit of a frenzy. gold. Let's see. Yeah, I lost about 2% in two stupid buys about half an hour because I took off. Looked like it was going to run bullish, but I was just early and tried to hit it twice. And look at that. Tried to hit it twice and it was just the timing, I guess. You too early here. Because if you were doing it here, anytime from pre-London Open, like even an hour before pre-London Open, you know, with a better probability. Secured 20 pips. Let's see. I sell at 20. Entry at the break of the range. We got a little fake out below support. TP 101. Nice. Yeah, that was a fake out indeed. It's coming in from this section here. It was definitely a counter trend move, but you're definitely on the right side of the session direction. As he like broke below support. Boom, boom, boom. So it's nice when, I guess it's nice when it's in like you see the fake out, correct? Like when you see the fake out happen here. But we could have said the same thing for what happened above here too. That's what we're kind of looking at too. Small liquidity grab on that wick to break the lows to keep pushing down. But he sees like sometimes the market will just if it wants to make it difficult, it can make it difficult. You know, it can do like one here and then it can do one here. So it's, I guess it's just one of those days. Like even if we look at what it's doing right now, also taking out the highs to pull back down again. You see like this kind of, I don't know, call like a fidget spinner, PA. Like take out the highs, come down, take out the lows, start to pull up again. You can see even on like the 5 minute. Break here and then break here. But you're also reading this in context of the market environment as well, right? So if you notice like price being a bit jittery, if you notice like some liquidity grabs, like let's try to zoom out, like there. If you notice like a lot of these liquidity grabs, you're also reading it, the wicks in context of the current market and what the market is doing right now and how it's moving. Then you can kind of like pick out the what do you call it, the fake outs, if you will. But I think like context is important. So like situation like this, previous candlestick high still being respected. No shark in the water here. Tiny break there. Got respected quite a lot. So you see that? Look at how price moves so much without any sort of like whiplash. Correct? And then if you look at the same PA here, you can see there's a difference, right? So it's also about reading just in terms of the context of the market. Super important. I'm on a sell trade, boss, from around 44.68, looking it to take out Asia low from here, hopefully. Oh, you're in a sell from 44.68. gotta send in a chart. If you took a sell, you gotta send in a chart so we can see like why did you take that sell? What is the reasoning behind that sell? Close that sell at break even. Yeah, I would say close that sell for sure. I don't see a reason why. I mean, okay, you can do whatever you want, because if it melts, then you're gonna wish you holded it. So you just gotta follow your rules. You gotta follow your rules. See, analyze crypto beyond price and new fundamental indicator. And you know, the crazy thing is, the risky thing about changing bias now is when you're gonna change bias that late, you're gonna look for buys, then you're gonna find out that buy doesn't play out anymore. Then your sell idea is gonna play out, because you see, we already had like a couple of trades here. You had one buy and then you had another buy. If you're gonna like overtrade one session, I would say just stick to your guns. You know, stick to your guns in terms of the direction. It'd take like preferably a maximum of 2 trades to give a trade a second chance. But you'd want to like stick more to your guns, because if it's all in the same session, there's still a chance that price will go in the it will still follow through for you later. But if you're doing it a different session, then a different session will give you a probability for maybe that buy again. But you still kind of want to like see if your trade's gonna play out. If you give your trade basically a second chance. Yet to see a sell play out though. Still waiting to see if something's gonna play out here. I thought Goldie could cook over here. Got like 2 seconds for that candle to close. Looks like it closed bearish. Still haven't seen a sell play out. Look at the market structure. Market structure is still predominantly bullish. Days after movements like these mean big clean moves will come. You know, like the cleanest moves were happening. This is what I mean. Like people take December off. They take December off thinking that they're gonna come back in January and the markets are gonna be peachy. But man, the cleanest moves were happening in December. You see, it's that psychology, because like this happened to me already once in one market cycle before. Like December was the cleanest, and then I thought, okay, you know, like I'm gonna wait till the new year. Then the new year starts, and then the new year could be even a little bit choppy. Like so far, new year started quite nice. I think this is just me here over trading. But the condition has not been as clean and easy as December was. Like December had so many running opportunities. You know, there's a lot of volume. There's like clean volume as well, because of the fundamentals were still new. Like it still felt like fundamental wise it's still fresh, but right now it's it's still there, but you know, we can only go based off this Venezuela thing for so long. Daily is still moving up, but the intraday time frames are they're moving good. There's volume, but there's a little bit of choppiness in my opinion. It's like very nuanced space thing. We'll give it another go if A plus comes. I got so used to zero drawdown and it struggles. The odds get worse by the minute. I get so impatient managing trades. I keep saying just follow the plan. Yeah, just keep following the plan. I mean, I guess you could be a little bit aggressive in terms of if you're just predominantly looking for those zero drawdown trades. You could give it like one resistance, for example. One resistance like that, if it just forms like one resistance, then you can already start aggressively managing, like reducing the stops. You know, a trader placed a bet on Maduro capture and won 400k. Interesting times we live in. Damn, how do you place that bet? Where do you go and place that bet? What website is that? You can place a bet on you know, there's this people who bet, I don't know if you heard of this, but there are people who betting on Jesus Christ's return. There's a place you can bet on Jesus Christ's return, and every year it yields profit for people. Because obviously, you know, like, what's the probability Jesus Christ comes in 2026? Let me pull that up. I was like, what do you bet? Why do you bet on these things? That's like 100% hit rate. And if he returns, man, like it doesn't even matter then if you're gonna lose if he returns. Like at that point, what is money anyway? Will Jesus return this year? Let's see. Man, I'll bet everything because, man, if Jesus returns, then that's it. See, bettors pointed up nearly 3.3 million lastly on Poly Market to consider the question, will Jesus Christ return in 2025? Most voted no, and with only about 4% voting in the affirmative at the peak last spring. Support was well under 1% last month before Messiah was officially ruled. And remember the guy who built the boat that we spoke about, the guy who built the boat in, I don't know, I can't remember the country it was in, but somebody actually went. Someone went to that place to see because he built Noah's Ark. And someone was crazy enough to actually go. That was my question, if anybody was going to go. As of Jan 2nd, the event contracted had generated more than $67,000, only about 2% voting in the affirmative. Would earthy dollars even matter if Messiah did return? Still more than 3 million was wagered between hopeful believers and doubters. Doubtful. January 2026. Yeah, that's crazy. That's basically like free money. That's free money. But if y'all haven't watched Messiah, you should watch this. You should watch this series here on a Netflix. Man, it's such a good series, but season 2 never came out. Man, season 2 never came out. I think it had too much like a backlash or something, you know, like our generation is full of snowflakes, so I think it had like a lot of backlash. So they never released season 2, but man, watch season 1. Watch season 1 of this thing. It's actually quite eerie. The Messiah. It's super eerie. Like the way this guy plays the Messiah, it's quite believable. Like how it would actually be. Man, look at this. Gold moved down. Amazing. Amazing. It's placed on the poly market. The world's largest prediction market. What can we bet on here? Hey guys, well, why don't we just start betting on the poly market? New Stranger Things episode released by Venezuela leader end of 2026. Presidential election winner for 2028. $173 million volume traded here. Presidential election winner. Is there like a filter? Let's do this sort by 24 hours. Sort by total volume. Let's see how far this gets. 655 million. Super Bowl Championship 2026. Got like Seattle here at 20%. Presidential election winner. Bet decision in January. Oh, nice. Oh, look at this. We can bet on the next FOMC. Fed decision in January. They're gonna take 50 basis point cut. Man, the chance of a 50 basis point cut is pretty low. It's pretty low, so you're gonna like bet no. Oh, this is what people used to bet, like even on that Jake Paul fight. Yeah, when like Jake Paul fighting and all. So if I bet $200, what is that? That's a 1-to-1 risk reward. To win $200. 1,000? What is this, like 1-to-1? Why is this 1-to-1? How do we do the odds a little bit better here? I want a 1-1. Oh, but that's no. Yes, yes. Buy. Oh, here we go. So if we say buy yes, if you bet, this is crazy. This cannot be real. If you bet $100 and the chance that they get a 50 basis point cut, you can make $16,000. That's wild, Chad. That's wild. But the chance of that happening here is 1%. 1% chance. Let's see. 25 basis point decrease, but this is still pretty good. Because 25 basis point decrease, but in January. Damn, I wish I knew about this thing, because like last year, obviously we were having a higher probability towards the end of the year. This 25 basis point cut decrease. If you put $100 in, you can win $1,000. But what are the chances that we're gonna get the decrease now? I would say wait for Trump to put in his guy. When Trump puts in his guy and the guy is there, and I think that's when we basically like most likely might not get it in January. You know, but once Trump's guy is in there, then you know most likely for the next FOMC meetings, we might start to see it. Anybody ever tried this poly market thing before? Let's see in the chat. I do know people use it though. In Taiwan, people bet whether their neighbors or relatives will die when they're hospitalized. Sheesh. What a world we live in, huh? Yesterday felt like Judgment Day. Maybe they should have paid out. Why are you running? Yeah, now it's running here, but you see it's coming. You see, that's what I'm talking about. There's a freaking shark in the water. Look at the way the 5-minute here is taking out the highs as well. Like there's volume, there's good volume, but at the same time it's I don't know what you call like seek and destroy. But those of you in the ICT circles, got seek and destroy here today. Let's see what else. Well, the US invades Venezuela. Epstein. Can we bet on oxygen? Can we bet on water? Hey, what about the MH something? They said they were gonna resume the search for that plane that went missing. Malaysian Airlines flight 370. Let's see if we can get that here. Surely that should be somewhere on this website. MH370 underwater wreckage found by June. Look at this. What's the probability? MH370 by June 30th, 2026. You got a private company. The private company is supposed to make how much are they making if they actually find that plane? MH370. I think it was something on the tunes of 100 billion or like 50 billion, something crazy. Oh, we got what? If the Ocean Infinity finds Malaysian Airlines flight, they stand to make a 70 million. That is about a billion or something like that. As the Malaysian government has agreed to a no-find, no-fee contract, paying only upon successful discovery of the wreckage within set time frame and area. Hey chat, who in the chat wants to link up? We could link up here and then we could go look for that plane. Then we're gonna be like Matthew McConaughey in gold. Who in the chat's down? We can make 70 million. No, in Fool's Gold. Matthew McConaughey in Fool's Gold. Remember this movie? When he's gone out looking for that treasure. Yo, who's down, chat? Who's down? 70 million. Let's go find this thing. It's gonna be Ricardo over here. Ricardo, hey, Vic, I found a piece over here. I found a piece. And it's gonna be Joshua. We got the Joshuas over here. Got the Joshuas here. Then we got tall trader with the shotgun. Oh my god, 70 mil. It's a whole plane. It's a whole plane. But unfortunately, I think like what of our ocean has actually been discovered? Probably like 1%. Probably know more about the moon than we do about our own ocean floors. I'm happy to help coordinate from land. And look at that nasty grab on the 15 here. Like broke below that support. Push down 43 pips. Sheesh. Up to this day, up to this day, I can't wrap my head around how the heck that the market can get you on the day that you want to overtrade. It's gonna be this specific type of PA where it's just doing like, break of highs, break of lows, and then pulling down and up aggressively. It's like a fidget spinner. See how I like broke about this high as well? Because the market typically doesn't even do that. Like on a usual day-to-day basis, it's not like typically this aggressive. I mean, of course, if you're going to overtrade, generally speaking, daily, you're also going to put yourself in a position where you don't want to be in. But there's a difference in terms of how aggressive that it actually is. The session cannot be traded. Let's see. Call of the Deep. I don't know about you guys, but I could probably hold my breath underwater for like only about a minute. These guys who do these deep dives, insane. Man, I watched a guy try break the record and the dude freaking passed out like right when he was getting to the top. He couldn't do it. Like he was about to break the record, but as he was getting right towards the top, like the boat people had to pull him out and then kind of like bring him back, you know? But he was about to break the record, but he couldn't, like, right at the top. Right at the top, so he had to do it again. There's free divers. I think the biggest indoor free diving is what, in Dubai? Somewhere in Dubai. They can go free diving super deep indoors. Let's see what Goldie does. You see, I just took out these highs. It should, actually, it should re-break the highs to keep moving up. But this could be a liquidity grab situation to push downwards. And chat, like, I honestly want to try secure a position here. But I know it's not a good idea to overtrade. But this could play out beautifully if it takes out this high like this and then breaks these lows. If we wait for this candle here to first close bearish. Maybe if I hadn't taken this one, this would have been a better chance right there, but let me just watch it. I can hold for almost 2 minutes. I'm relaxed, but in real situation, I'll give myself 20 seconds maybe. Yeah, when you're relaxed, you don't have that same psychology. It's like trading a demo account. You know, when you're just sitting down and holding your breath, it's like a demo account. They're going to throw you in the pool, then you're going to be trading the live account. When your life is actually on the line. It's a huge difference, correct? Like you see it in the market, you see it in real life too. It's also a psychology thing. Like the guy who did who was trying to break the record, you know you're almost at the top, right? So as you're approaching towards the top, you know, psychology also plays a role. It kind of wants to maybe relax a bit. This is following through already quite nicely on the break. Zero drawdown. See if it can continue with the follow through. I mean, it would be wild if it fakes out. If it honestly like starts to pull back up again like this. Too many whips. Are you still looking for a buy on gold? No. Just 20 seconds. Will the US confirm alien existence before 2027? I might take that bet. Poly is far better than most political surveys. I use it a lot, but no for bets. Just like when you gotta use a bathroom and the closer you get, the more it feels like you're not gonna make it. This is Kate Winslet held her breath for 7 minutes to do a scene of Avatar. Oh wait, 7 minutes? That's some dynamo magician stuff. I haven't yet watched Avatar. She held her breath for 7 minutes? No. Well, at least this pushed like 16 pips, but that would have been a break-even trade if I took it. Can you please check BTC USD and tell me what's going on? Okay, let's see. BTC. There's like a goal down there. BTC USD, sheesh. 1.91%. Negative 1.91%. You know, I think it's also pulling back from this area here, because you know, the 4 hour we had that breakout happen. You can see like the breakout happened right here. I think it's just pulling down from it. Got resistance right over here. See, I break above that resistance and pulling down. You know, the Bitcoin market right now doesn't have a lot of what do you call it, like exuberance levels are quite low. So if I bring this chart, I think this is like a really good chart for Bitcoin. Let me show you. If you go on here, where is Bitcoin currently in this scale? Euphoria? I don't think so. Anxiety? Maybe. Denial? Possibly. Fear? Desperation? Panic? Not yet. So we're probably somewhere between like denial and desperation. So let's say fear. We're here in the fear index on Bitcoin, because you know it's breaking. I mean, we already cracked 90k. We already saw how do we saw? We saw about a, these are the highs. We saw about like 80k. We came to like 80k psychological mark, right? So there's a bit of fear in the market, especially if you look at the Bitcoin news. There's some stuff surrounding quantum computing, and I think like there's something that's spooking crypto. Like even if you look at Ledger the other day got hacked. Well, not the Ledger itself, but the third-party company which works with Ledger got hacked, right? It's not the first time it happened. Last time it happened in 2020. It happens every now and then, but I feel like the crypto space right now is definitely not euphoric. Whereas, you know, for gold we are currently I think there's more like euphoria on gold. If you read a lot of the macro fundamental news, they keep saying like, yes, gold's moving up, but sooner or later we're gonna have to see that profit taking and markets break into consolidation on gold. But right now we're just at the verge of like euphoria. We're like at the peak of euphoria on gold. That's why we're looking at 4,600, and we're still expecting price to overall still continue moving up bullish. You know, whereas BTC is more down here. It's a fear index. So you can also see that mental is completely different, BTC and gold. So you even see with like silver's moving up crazy, platinum's moving up crazy. So we're more like euphoric. Bitcoin is more fearful, but it's trying to recover here. You see, we just need to get through some wicks. It broke the wick, but it's not done with like enough momentum. It slightly broke the wick. It's pulling back, but it's at least showing some kind of a directional bias of where it wants to potentially be heading soon. So if BTC starts breaking above 94.8, 95 psychological mark here, it's kind of like sandwiched in between the 80 and 95 zone right over there. You got 90 as well, but I think these are the two key marks. You got 80 and 95. So if we can like properly break above 95, then we could see a potential recovery on BTC. But right now it's consolidating, as you can see. Just moving sideways. So it's like a simple breakdown, you know. I think it's more mental than anything else. You know, it's a reason why some people will tell you like day trading is gambling, is because people who look at market from different perspective, they have this kind of goggles on where it's, for them it's safer. It makes more sense to look from the HTF like this, right? For them, it makes more sense to do a bit of due diligence and be a bit more patient. It feels like safer, right? So that would be my safest analysis to provide. If we look at day trading, now day trading will require a whole different set of skills and to really start to build some kind of a consistency to differentiate between gambling and being profitable, right? That's a different skill set. So higher time frame analysis, break above 95, then we can continue to move up. It's like 116. Oh wow, man, like gold actually came down to push and then came back up again to retest. Very choppy, but I'm gonna give I'm gonna give a trader another go today. Later today, we're gonna see what happens. But I want this to kind of come down a little bit here for me. Give it another go. Gold will go bullish once it clears the 15-minute FEGs between 44.58 and 44.52 from the reversal pattern. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta send me a chart so I can see where that fair value gap is. Let's see where the FEG is. See like what range that's gonna be. Because I think if price breaks below some kind of support here by 44.58, then we could see it kind of break away from this kind of like whips. Getting a lot of whips here. So you can see break away from this kind of whippy area and then maybe have some clean follow throughs. It would actually be nice to see price come down like this towards pre-New York. Start to break lows like that. Maybe we can come back and check again 44.50, which has been a mark that we're still holding. Even if you go back in time over here, you can see 44.50. You know, that was the reason for my trade yesterday during pre-NY as well. Because like we were also breaking below 44.50. So I was like, man, we're breaking 44.50 right now. You know, like surely we're going to have enough confluence. You can even see how the market like retested that zone. Like came and retest 44.50 and then try to push down. I'm like, okay, perfect. And then it came back up. Then it came back up. But you see, psychology was different yesterday. Psychology yesterday was more hesitant, more risk off. Psychology today is more risk on. And unfortunately, now the London session is quite choppy, so I'm more risk on, willing to take my fourth trade for the day, but carefully. Yeah, but that was the thing. Like, you know, this 1 minute candle here yesterday, it shot up. It shot up from here. It was somewhere around here to here. It shot up quite fast. It was like only like what 2 seconds, and then it went up. Then I'm like, come on, like seriously, Goldie. Because you know where the candlestick closes is also more important than like where it's like playing around, correct? Because if a candle wants to close somewhere, it can even shoot up like last 2 seconds. It's gonna shoot up to make sure it like closes that area. When you see it in hindsight, it just looks like a candle. But when you're trading it live, you gotta see something different. You like really tune into the market psychology of candlesticks and PA. Because the closes mean something, you know. That's why even today I was like thinking, as a candlestick was gonna close above on the 5 minute. Hey, Donvo. Look at this. We got Donvo over here. Thank you for the sub, man. Is that the real Donvo? Donvu? How can we check this on YouTube? Go to channel. I don't know if you can actually check. Hey, Donvu, write something in the chat. Yeah, but look at this. This was the thing that happened over here. You see this? This was meant to be the fakie. How price closed above resistance. Like this. And then the next candle was supposed to come down like this. This would have been the fakie right over there. The candlestick closure. That was the point what I was trying to get across. Like you see how this candle like try to push up even so much that it closed without even a top wick. Just so it can create this kind of situation over here. So like the candle closes, super important. Super important. Small thing. Donvu? Oh man, this is not the real Donvu. Oh no, this is somebody else. Oh, this is another Donvu. How many Donvus do we got in the chat? This is Daryl, the real underscore Donvu. But I'm telling Donvu to write in the chat. Not the real underscore Donvu. Because you got like 3 subs. This is not the real underscore Donvu. I want to say what's up to my Chinese buddy here. Last trade of the day, TFX German 40. W incoming, nice. Stop loss to break even. But Donvu knows the channel. He's seen my reels before too. I don't know if you know where this is gonna be, somewhere around here. It's in my reels. One time I made a reel about a certain strategy. But he doesn't reply to my comments. I try to reach out to this guy, but doesn't reply to my comments on Instagram. Oh man. That's not good. You gotta be open to people. We're in the same industry. We're in the same industry, brother. If people reach out to me, I always respond to comments on Instagram. You know, it doesn't matter how big that I get. If I know you, I'm gonna respond to your comment. When have I never responded to a comment on Instagram, Chad? Like if y'all send me a message on Instagram, you know I respond to all my comments. Doesn't matter how big that I get. The only time I would never respond to like comments is maybe if like, you know, I don't see them. Or if there's nothing to respond to. I don't think I can find what I'm looking for. Damn, how many of these Donvu guys are there? This is another one, but that's not the one though. Y'all really made accounts of this guy, huh? Oh, he's just changing a username. Yeah, bro's just changing the username, I guess. Head and shoulders on the 5 minute. That's why I'm saying if we break below support here by 44.58, then we could see a correction. Potential correction here. 124 pips. One more trade for the day. One more trade for the day. Today's gonna be a doozy because we could either hit the next trade with a 1% risk or a full risk. If I hit it with a full risk and I lose it, I'm gonna be down 2.5%. Should I hit it with a full risk? Yes, I hit it with small risk. But if there's gonna be a really nice running opportunity, it could be interesting. It's always around the corner. It's always around the corner. This little cluster over here that I typically speak about. These little clusters, they're just right around the corner. These little clusters like this, just right around the corner. The question is, when is it coming? There's always a natural distribution of winning and losing trades for any system. The only way that you can combat this natural distribution of winning and losing trades is managing your risk. See, like this small risk over here, 0.47, 0.50, 1%. Then you got 0.59. That was a 2% loss. That was a 2% win. That's how you just gotta navigate. Like, cause when you get in, it's like when you're a sailor in the ocean. You know, you're not always gonna have like clear weather. So you gotta like get good at managing risk during those times. So when the weather opens up again, your boat is not completely wrecked, right? Your sails are not wrecked. That you know you're gonna put down the sails, the winds are getting too strong or something like that. You gotta like manage the risk. That's all that you gotta do, because when you're gonna come out of that storm, you wanna come out the storm with a good boat. See that your boat is still functioning properly. So you're gonna come out the storm and you know everything's gonna be okay. There you go, you go. Then you end here. You know now you're gonna port the boat. And then you're gonna do some maintenance on that boat as you go into the new journey of October. Then you take that sail, you keep going, you port the boat, maintenance. But that cluster is always coming. That bad weather, it's always eventually gonna come somewhere. So you know you can't also get too comfortable. Because it only takes one time that you're in bad weather to not put the sail down to really mess you up. Right? And then you're gonna have a trouble over there. You're gonna be behind schedule, basically. So that's the thing here. Because it always comes like this. This is how it starts. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to explain that mental model behind going into clusters, potential clusters like this. It could usually start, depending on your strategy. For my strategy, it usually starts like this. Like 2 losses like this. Then you gotta go and investigate these 2 losses. Right? And you have to catch... This is actually a perfect moment to show you how exactly we stop the bleeding early. You know, like here, you see this? You see this and you see this? So you gotta catch it as soon as possible. Also, depending on your strategy, right? You gotta know your strategy, how many of those are normal to have. So for me, it's like I could normally get like 3, and then the next one has to be a win, right? But as soon as I get 2, I already want to start to look at how can I stop the bleeding. So you see, you got like 2 here, and we're in that same situation right now. Got 2 over here. So we gotta be very delicate about the next 2 decisions that we're gonna do, the next 2 trades, because you're gonna either have a compound like this, and when compounds like that can really play on your psychology, correct? When compounds like this, so you gotta be very delicate about how those next 2 are gonna be, right? Because you know we preferably want something like this. We want something like this that's gonna balance us out a little bit, and then we can keep going. But if we get like another L, man, I think at that point, then we gotta really trade the next day to give us a better chance of getting something like this. So that's what I'm thinking of for my next position. Preferably I can get a W and then have those BWs like that into the next day. Or if I take an L, call it a day, 100%, and then try and come back the next day to mitigate that area over here so we can section that off. Correct? Like that's how you want to think of it. But you don't want to overtrade. Like the last thing you want to do is like compound on those losses, because that can just increase and it'll just give you a much more harder time to make it back. Mine came in December. I lost a lot of. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. I think my last cluster came in December, in the beginning of the month as well. That was during the 4th, and now today we're on the 7th. So you see, it helps having a journal, right? Yeah, you gotta have a journal like this. You have a journal and you can review that journal. If you don't have a journal, how you gonna know where you currently are in the system? If you're not journaling your trades, how you gonna know? Just gonna be based off feeling. You know, problem with based off feeling, you don't have a perspective. You have nothing to review like this if it's just basing off feeling, right? Because the feeling is much stronger. It's much stronger. You take like 1 or 2 losses in the day, it's much stronger than the bigger picture. So it can make you feel like the overall progress is not there. So you need a journal, and we got a free journal in the description box below. Make sure you click on the free journal. See, market's starting to creep down towards support now by 44.58 there. It looks like gold has come down. It stopped having a, you know, gold is like a child sometimes, you know, and a child is having its hissy fit. It wants something so bad. It's crying and it's willing to destroy everything to get what it wants. That's what gold is trying to do. Look at how it's behaving here. What kind of behavior is this? Faked out, crying. Oh, I want to break above resistance. I want to break above resistance. Faked out. Then it got its chance. But I guess it got worn out over here. It got worn out. It got pushed. Now it's moving slow again. Gold wore itself out. I guess it gave up about respecting that previous 5 to continue moving up bullish. See, like gave it its all and then just came down. This is like the peak emotion. The way you see it, like children, peak emotion, and then it wears itself out. Go bully. See, now it's chill. Look at how it's moving now. It's moving like a little bit more gradual. It feels a little slower. That's why like the ideal thing to do is one trade a session. You see, like take one trade here, it's like having a hissy fit, then you're gonna take the next trade in the different session. It's like gonna be calmed down a bit more. We like spread it out instead of like doing it all here in one go. So that's typically the idea. I'm using volume profile to see where is possible area of rejection. It works for you. All right, nice one, Benson. You gotta send in a chart though. NY gonna be a movie? Yeah, NY is probably gonna have that continuation like previous yesterday's candlestick. You see, yesterday's targets were for 4,500, but it looks like we tapped into it just on this day on the Asia session open. You see, this is yesterday's target, 4,500. See, took 2 trades today and I'm up about 1.6% for the day. I think I'll call it a day. Nice. Awesome. It's been 477 days since my last win. It's just a little losing streak. London session is no TP session today. Let's see. Funny, the stream is happening on my TV in the living room, so I couldn't see the spelling of the name, but it sounded like Dumbo. Oh. Hey, Rod, thank you for the membership. How you doing, buddy? Typical Wednesday. Yeah, typical Wednesday. Typical Wednesday. Let's see what the targets are and go. You know, the funny thing is, like, with what's happening in Venezuela, we're expecting oil to move, but this oil has not yet moved. Oil is still holding 56, I think it was. Last time I checked, like, yeah, it's at 56. It's still holding 56. You got all these oil companies supposed to be going into Venezuela now, but oil is just not moving. It's like people not using oil anymore. What is this? You know, but the thing is, you gotta use like OPEC. You gotta follow OPEC and those meetings. But let's see, crude futures fall after Trump says Venezuela to supply oil to the US. Oil prices fall in the early trading as President Trump said Venezuela would give the US up to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil. A move expected to deepen global oversupply. Brent crude is 0.9%. 60. Well, let's see. Oil prices extended their decline as the US moved to tighten its grip on Venezuela oil industry. And so what? That's a bad thing? Adding to pressure from an already oversupplied global market. Oh, okay. The barrels will be sold at market price with proceeds overseen by the White House to benefit both countries. Trump is also set to meet American oil executives on Friday to discuss investments in Venezuela oil sector. I didn't know like oil industry was oversupplied. While Venezuela now accounts for only about 1% of global supply, uncertainty of its exports has added bearish sentiment. An oversupply of oil? Man, that means we're not moving to electric cars anytime soon. Because, you know, like the way the human mind works, we first have to completely destroy it before we move on. You know, we have to completely use it all up before we move on. You know, unfortunately. Just like how animals go extinct, just like getting all those poaching, you just keep poaching and poaching and poaching until that animal goes extinct. That's what we're going to do with oil. And it's a reason why we haven't even had like those crazy advancements in like electric cars and non-oil cars like that, is because, you know, we got oil and, you know, it still makes a lot of money. Like countries rely on oil, like Canada, Venezuela, UAE. Trump said the oil would be sold at market price and he would control the money to ensure it benefits the US and Venezuela. I guess the question now is, well, when is Trump gonna release the guy? Maduro. Can you just like hold someone indefinitely like that? And another thing is, why isn't the world talking about this? I feel like the world is not talking about this a lot. The fact that this guy stole another country's president. I feel like it's not getting a lot of social media. You know, a lot of the time these things are just in your face on social media. But we're not getting a lot of that. Or at least I'm not. With my algorithm. It's like the world is cool with it. Trump is a gangster? Yeah, that's all I see. Is that Trump is a gangster. Oh man, you know, it's so cool for doing this. That's all I see. No one cares about Venezuela. I don't see anything about like some kind of a justice and how wrong that it is. And I follow the mainstream news, you know, like Bloomberg or CNBC or like all of these like news channels, because obviously we gotta keep up to date. Gotta keep up to date with the macros. I mean, even here on TradingView, we don't see it either. So it's quite funny. Gold is muscling out treasuries as foreign reserve assets. Little inverted head and shoulders here. It's trying to break above this zone. I have 44.65. Bias is still daily. Bias is bearish, negative 0.65. I missed one trade today on NAS. Was ultra FOMO. Lol, happy I got German 40 and now day is done. Yeah, I still got a bone to pick with gold. Gold is looking up on the M5. It needs to break this area with some volume, but you see it didn't. It only broke it by like 0.3 pips. How would the US respond if someone stole Trump out of nowhere? Could you imagine? You know, Trump is he's a leader of the US president. What is it called? The world leader. A world leader is definitely a different situation. You know, Venezuela is a very small country compared to the power of the US. So, man, if Trump got abducted by Russia, for example, holy, that would be World War. That would be World War straight up. Like, how this is not even gonna do anything. I feel like they're probably gonna release him sometime, and then things are just gonna go back to normal. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I mean, the US could occupy so many countries, so many smaller countries like that. Just like what Russia is doing to Ukraine. You know, it's like they just feel like they can do it, so they're just gonna do it. You know, because we obviously don't want to go to war. You know, I think it's more detrimental to go to war, to like escalate the situation to like a full blown out war, rather than just let these two countries duke it out. That's not even what, is that what like Trump said too about the Middle East? Like, let them just duke it out. In terms of assessing the oil volume, do you think will hit 4,500 again today? Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna hit like potentially 4,500, because if you look at this, the New York session is what typically drives the daily candle, right? It drives the daily candle. So why would we think just because this candle here is bearish now that it's gonna close bearish? I think it can still come up and break above 4,500 today. Because when volume kicks in, it kicks in, and then direction starts to follow through quite nice too. And that's typically when you'd want to be like in the market, right? When volume starts to kick in like this, when it gets a bit more directional, you get a better chance of getting a trade. See, like this is New York session open. And remember, we always speak about New York session fake out before the daily continuation. Same exact thing happened here. You see some of the kill zones. That's a New York session fake out before the daily continuation. So same exact thing is going to happen again today. Just watch out. Get the kill zones indicator. If you don't have it already, just to help you see it better. And then you're going to notice like, where is that key mark that price is going to break below before you get the continuation? You know, what is it going to be? What's that key area? So you see in this scenario here, we had support. You had a support down here that we had clean range down. It actually filled up some of the range, but it was choppy, most likely whiplashing a lot of people. But that was the key zone for where the fake out would have been for price to move up bullish. So similar situation is going to happen today, I feel. The only weird thing is like these selling pressures, like profit taking happening, but at the same time, they don't want to not be involved in the gold market. You know, it's like institutions taking profit. I would say because 2025 was such an amazing run for gold that we're seeing intraday like swings towards the downside like this. But at the same time, they're still keying in buy positions because we're still in that stage of euphoria. So remember that chart that we showed of the emotional index. So gold is still in that euphoric stage. So it's just like securing from 2025, but we're still here. So they're still keying it back in. That's why we're seeing also the New York session is still pushing upwards like this. And the dailies look clean. See, and the daily just looks clean, like it's just moving up, no problem. Hi bro, will there be NY session be bearish or bullish? We just gotta wait and see. If you see a situation like with NY open break below the support, for example, you could anticipate that as a NY open fake out for price to keep moving up there on the daily to 4,500. Because that would be the obvious level. Because usually when sessions open up, like it can also be the London session. You know, it could be like any session. It could be the NY session. You know, when the session opens, you can always expect like what are key levels that price can actually like fake out. So when the London or New York opens, it opens with volume in the opposite direction. Just a small liquidity grab thing. You see, like for example here, I think it happened on too much of a lower time frame, but that was the London open fake out right over there below support. But this happened on a 1 minute time frame. But you see the concept is still relatively like the same. Like what's that support area? What's that clean structure that we can break and fake before we get the continuation from the session? So you see it's like this on the 1 minute. So I think when it comes to trading, you have to be a little bit creative, correct? Because you can't be a scientist. You can't be a scientist because this is like, there's no like set criteria for a certain outcome. You know, it's not like when you're gonna do chemistry and then you put certain things together and you get a certain outcome. Like the guy from Breaking Bad, Walter White. Like when Walter White is doing his cooking, you know, it's not the same kind of cooking here. But you're gonna look at and see it in a different format. See, like this one here happened on a higher time frame. Correct? See on the 5 minute. This one happened more on like the 5 minute. And it was choppy. And it's not always perfect, but it's like what you're trying to understand is that general concept. Walter White. It's an art, man. Like Jesse Pinkman. Cooking's an art, brother. And Walter White's like, no, it's not. It's just basic chemistry. It's just basic chemistry, Jesse. You failed out of my chemistry class? This is why you failed out of my chemistry class, you dumbass. Because there's no art here. It's a 1 + 1 = 2, buddy. And you know, like Walter White, man, you know, the purity of what he was cooking was in the show 91%, right? Let's say something like 91, 92%. Man, you know what the purity is today? The purity today is the seas of 99%. That's how much they're seizing. 99%. Crazy. Crazy is that. When did Breaking Bad show start? Like Breaking Bad was 2008, so I think 91 was, you know, pretty strong. 2008. Now we got about like 99%. Got a lot more Walter Whites running around. I will give it one more chance. M30 looks good. Oh, well, you know, like it's 5 a.m. Eastern right now, so you gotta be careful. Because you see this? This is range. It just broke into a range, so it's waiting. It's waiting over here. It's waiting over here. It's waiting for maybe that pre-New York candle volume to come in. Will the US confirm the alien existence before 2027? So if we put $1 for yes, that's only 14 bucks. We put $10, put $100, 1,000. I feel like this should make a lot more than just $100 for 1,254. Because what's the probability that happens? It's like a 7% chance. Literally, some guy here says literally free money, and his name is DGen Spartan 69.
Spartans! What is your profession?
£11, what a steal it is. Wow, look at these degens.
Spartans!
11 what a steal. Will Trump acquire Greenland before 2027? Let's see this one. 14 cents. Oh man, you gotta put like $100, you can make 700. Yeah, I had to turn the... It's because, you know, the effects, Mr. Rishi, their effects volume was quite low. And I didn't know up until like 2 days ago that it was not playing on stream properly. Friends desperate for $100 right now. Send $1 and it's only $99 more needed. So anybody who gambles on this thing, like, well, what's the commission like? How much commission do they take? Because I'm low-key about to start investing in this. $100, $700. Trump acquires Greenland before 2027. But like, this is just one example, right? I think there's some pretty nice ones here with high probability. Israel strikes Iran by January 31st. That's 19 cents. So $100, like 500. Let's see what the Fed chair one is. No, this one no change. Let's see, you got 90% no change. So we can cross-reference. Look at this. We can cross-reference the Fed decision in January with the FOMC, with the CME group. So we're looking at probability. It's at no change, 83.9%. I think it's much likely no change. You got even the people here, Polymarket, say like 90% no change. Yeah, but obviously risk reward is not that great. It's a 1-to-1 basically. At no change. But if it is a change, no change. But oh, buy no, buy yes. That's kind of confusing. What does this mean? Buy yes, no change, or buy no, no change? If you buy no, huh? It's like I'm learning to trade again here. Seven hour profit sounds like a good deal. Yeah, market is just consolidating right now, guys. Hey, I saw something about silver. Will silver SL hit by end of January? Someone's trade. We got some for the Epstein files. Maduro mugshot released by. Buy no would mean you get payout if there is any change. That is my understanding. Yeah, but that any change would mean a 25 cut or 50 cut or. But I mean, any change, what would that mean? Like, also any change, like probability wise, because it's either going to be something, it's either going to be like no change at all, or that just probability is just going to shift. It's like no change, easing or hike, but buy yes, no change, buy no, no change. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Next James Bond actor. Man, you could do like insider trading. Like, think about it. What's this? Callum Turner. If you're like in Hollywood, for example, and if you're in that industry and you gotta liaise with like people like in that space, you could do some insider trading here. I already know who the next James Bond actor is gonna be. You know, like some connections. If you had some connections. See, buy yes, $100. How much you make? 167. Says pretty high chance that he's going to be the next James Bond actor. But anyway, the risk reward here is not that great. 177 if it's not. We got these other guys here. Tom Hardy. Yo, Tom Hardy as James Bond? I don't think so, man. Like, I think that James Bond character used him. Maybe like Henry Cavill. Cavill is more like a little bit more James Bondish. Yeah, that's why we got Tom Hardy here, like 1%. Tom Holland? No, Tom Holland is still a boy. James Bond needs to be a bit more of a mature guy. James Norton. Hey chat, like I'm gonna start doing this for real, but you gotta like really find these ones with like super high probability. Highest temperature in London on January 7th. Let's go, Luke. What are we looking at? It's saying what? A highest temperature in London, January 7th, 5 degrees Celsius. Well, what? That's today. Highest temperature in London, January 7th. That's today. What's the temperature right now there in London? For like $100 in here, you're gonna make. Oh, that's fluctuating like crazy. $100, you can make 273. Look at how crazy that fluctuates. It's like literally trading. It's at 3. Highest temperature to be 5. Okay, I guess that's gonna be at the end of the day. Then it's gonna show the payout at the end of the day. Oh, that's kind of rough. 5 degrees, so you can't even get like 6. Now gold, this is a buy, I think. Let's see. Oh, it's breaking. Yeah, it's trying to make a move. Now gold is finally trying to make a move here. 4 degrees in London. But you're gonna definitely get better odds on this than like sports betting, like Fulham versus Chelsea. Like sports betting, I tried that in uni and it's so difficult to be consistent. You know, it's like super difficult. But here you have like variety of different things you could pick with like much different probabilities. Man, I can't believe Andrew Tate lost the fight against that guy. And I'm pretty sure that fight was here as well. And a lot of people probably lost money thinking Andrew Tate is gonna win. Because he's a kickboxer. But like he has more experience fighting. Will GTA 6 cost $100+? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think like most games are gonna come out like $80. But I think like GTA probably could be more than $100. $100+. So it just needs to be above $100. GTA 6 is gonna be coming out, I think, towards the end of this year. So if you put in $100 now, you can make $6,400. $100. That GTA is gonna be above $100 when it comes out. So what's the probability of that, Chad? Let's see. What was the last console game that came out more than $100? Because most games are gonna be like $80. But it's GTA. No recent mainstream console game has had a standard edition launch price over $100. The current standard price for a new AAA game is typically like $70. Yeah, it's like around that much. Let's see. Historically, some vintage console games, especially on systems like Neo Geo ES, retailed over $200 at launch due to... And you got AI now? Come on, man. What's the excuse? What's the excuse for being a brokey nowadays? You got information at the hand of your fingertips. So you don't have to guess. You know, the information is there. You don't have to guess. You just have to know the right questions to ask. Retail, let's see. Certain high-end SNES and Sega Genesis games such as Virtual Racing cost like $90 to $100 at release. But when was the last year? Most standard consoles. Recently, discussions and rumors have centered around major upcoming titles like Grand Theft Auto potentially launching with a sudden price addiction of about $80, which could lead the industry towards higher price point. It's probability-wise speaking, it's pretty low, right? It's pretty low. You put $100, like that's just that's literally a 1-to-1. I think it's a 1-to-1, or what is this? Is it a 1-to-1 or is that $1.21? If you put $100, you win $100. I guess it is a 1-to-1, right? You keep your money and you win $100. So what gold is doing? Yeah, gold's still trying to it's still trying to break out. It's stuck in this accumulation here. Last time on Poly Market, I bet on Paramount to purchase Warner Bros. And I lost. Ooh. Imagine Netflix did it. Came from school. Hey, what's up, Eisen? How was school? How come Seth bet on himself to lose? Well, if he bet on himself to lose, then that was rigged from the start. Yeah, it's stuck in the gulag. Good time to do that is during election day. Tom Hardy is a typecast for gangster movies. Way too aggressive looking for a JB role. I agree. Long time follower. Love your work. Happy New Year, bro. Thank you, Vazu. For now, don't take what's that? Don't take economic advice from Trump. Who know we might move, but not in our direction. You pick it goes opposite. What phone do I got? 16E, I think. Wanna grab the iPhone Air low key. I mean, the thing about the iPhones is people, you know, that buy iPhones. Some people buy iPhones the same way people who love gaming we're always gonna buy the next console, right? Because we promised our childhood version of ourselves that we'd always get the next PlayStation. It's like an unspoken rule, correct? Like even the older you get, you might not even play as much, but it's like an unspoken rule that we have to get the PC or we have to get the console, right? And some people are like that with iPhone. They're gonna buy like the 18 and the 19, and you know, it just keeps coming out, but they kind of like created this thing in their heads that they're gonna keep getting the new latest version because they're used to it. But you see, there's never really an increase in any sort of like difference in between like camera quality or like how fast the phone is, or you know, there's never really that big of a difference. So I think if you get the 16, you're pretty much good for the next 5 years. But you know, the 18 is just right around the corner too. So if you just got yourself a 17 and you're all happy about that 17, man, you're just scamming yourself, because the 18 is basically coming out this year too. Let's see. iPhone 18, maybe not this year. Like, latest buzz suggests the regular iPhone 18 won't hit shelves until spring 2027. All right, so you got about a year and a few months over there to enjoy it before the new one comes out. What will happen before GTA 6? Dark release Iceman. Drake releases Iceman. Jesus Christ returns. No way, this is a joke. This is a freaking joke. People believe Jesus Christ is gonna return before GTA 6 comes out. That's like a 1-to-1, yes. But obviously no. But you see, obviously the risk reward, it's like a 1-to-2. It's a 1-to-2, but that's free money. That's free money. Like, what's the probability Jesus Christ returns before GTA 6 comes out? Hey, yo, chat, like, after this, for real, I'm gonna start gambling on this thing. This is like free money. Come on now. What's the catch? What's the freaking catch? There's no way Jesus Christ is coming back. Put like $1,000 on this thing. Make about $2,000. It's a joke, man. Hey, chat, anybody who's done this before? Like, tell me about the commissions. Now you see, I gotta seek out mentorship now. You see, I'm not shy to ask for help. Some of y'all are shy to ask for help. I'm not shy to ask for help. I need a mentor. Can somebody mentor me in this? Pay you $100. If it comes, you won't need the money. Exactly. They love this Jesus Christ bet. Now remember, this is how this whole conversation even started. People love this Jesus Christ bet thing. So yeah, I'm gonna bookmark this one. You see, you can find some pretty good ones like this. But that's gonna take some time to mature, man. Like that's honestly just gonna take basically this whole year to only make $100. They like put something a little bit more worth your while. Yeah, gold is still stuck in this range. It's quite aggressive today, actually. I see we just did another grab, potentially right here. You can always pick out the grabs by the size of the candlestick wicks, right? So it's just a way to help you find your bearing in the market, to see what the market is doing. Like, pay attention to the wicks and how big the wicks are. That's all that it is. Pay attention to the wicks. $15 minutes looking solid. Break below support. Got a 5-minute speed bump coming in, like literally right here though. Pay attention to the wicks. You see, like, even how it happened here. Look at the way like this candle broke the high and then pulled down aggressively, and then came back to break the high again, and then it's pulling down aggressively. So that's a nice trick to kind of determine what sort of market condition that you're trading in, because you know you're gonna have different kind of market conditions. Some market conditions that just flow properly like this. You know, you just get candlesticks just flow properly. Get the kill zones. The idea is like trying to get it at a place where it has less resistance too. So areas where the market will not chop around as much like this. Correct? So you want to see candlesticks break and close above structure. If you watch yesterday's video, you know we spoke about this in yesterday's video that we made. You gotta watch that video. Like this market, the video on market direction. See, like even right here, key resistance point, market direction, range to fill. So with gold right now, the range that we're looking at is below, I would say below this 5-minute support here, because anything here is a bit too soon. It's still a bit of a choppy area. This is, you can see you got this whole red zone, correct? Like this is the area where the wicks I've been grabbing a lot. Yeah, like wick here, wick here, wick here, wick here. So this is still a dangerous area. But if you get price break below here, there's less of a reason for it to wick back up. Okay, and hopefully by the time like we start breaking this zone, like then prices are gonna move normally, and we also have a gap. But this is just an FXCM because I don't know why FXCM went offline for a bit. Like once it breaks that area, then we should be good. All right, we gotta use some filters here. Let's see. Ending soon. Maybe that's what you kind of want to do if you want to be a scalper. But ending soon seems like it's a lot of games. Blackburn, Beavers, Eastern Illinois Panthers. What is this? Betting on the weather is also quite interesting because there's so much data on weather and in the time, like weather in January in your country. What's the average highs? Gold up or down January 7th. Oh man, gold up or down, like what, on the daily? I'm pretty good at that. Pretty good. A lot of you are pretty good at that. A lot of you are pretty good at finding the direction of the instrument you're trading, but you're not as good as maybe executing, correct? So you see price move in your direction, but like getting stuck in is also a different skill set. Because we knew gold was moving up. Like, man, I've been talking about gold moving up for so long here. Even if you watch my previous reels, what I've been saying, like, we've just been saying gold's going to move up. Especially what happened over the weekend with Maduro and Trump. We knew market open was going to move up on Monday. Right? Like, I made a reel about that as well. You can watch the reel. It was supposed to be for price to move up towards these targets here. Correct? And that's exactly what we had happen. It went without even the bottom wick. This will be like a small side hustle for daily analysis, like HCF analysis. You like $100 for price to move up today. That is a 23% chance. So it's not even a 1 to 2. But if it closes, also the risk reward is not that great either. It's not even a 1 to 2. It's not even 1 to 2, but $100 is also not bad. Honestly, $100 not bad. Like a small little 1 to 1. Make more trading, but especially on days like where you have the FOMC events. And you know, with FOMC, when we start seeing direction, let's say like prices up 0.40%, we see the pre-London sessions going up. London open, we're like 1%. You know, like what is even the probability you're gonna see something like this? Price being up here was like, I think it was about 2% on Monday when we were trading, correct? What's the probability the candlestick does not close bullish? You know what I mean? It's a pretty high chance it's gonna close bullish too. Like, we're rarely ever gonna see a candlestick like be so bearish like this as well and not close bearish. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's some kind of loopholes here you can exploit. Because I don't think there's a timer. I think the timer is up until the end of the day. See, that's what I mean. Like, you always get something for your pain in trading. Just learning purely about the market, you always get something for your pain. Even if you don't become a successful trader, you've learned a skill. This is a skill that it can pay you in different ways, more ways than you could imagine. So, you know, don't feel like you don't get anything for your pain. You get something for your pain. You're never gonna waste your time learning about the world economy. It's a healthy dip, even if it's down 0.5% today. The big picture is still insane. Goldman and JP Morgan are literally calling for 4,800 plus soon. I'm buying this Tuesday discount before non-farm payroll report drops. Is it like... Yeah, but today I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, today that daily candle is bearish. We might get that flip during the New York session to push upwards again. I don't think it's pretty high probability idea there. A little tricky on gold. Yeah, today's definitely a little tricky on there, that daily, because it's already like kind of bearish, and we have red folders that price could be waiting on. It could seriously flip. Like, you see this accumulation here. It could seriously also just start flipping from this point, but the daily is really predominantly bearish still right now. It's not as clean cut. But you see that accumulation? It could start breaking out of this, and we might even see that daily flip. But that's going to be by 44.94, so we'd have to push up about 300 pips to get that daily flip. Let's see if there's anything else here on gold. Bitcoin versus gold, first to 5K. First to 5K? Oh man, this is, let's say, Ethereum versus gold. I think like gold is gonna take some time to 5K. It's not gonna happen. Maybe Ethereum is more volatile. It might get 5K first. Oh, let's see how far that is. Oh, whoa. Ethereum and gold. So yeah, 5K is quite a far. But man, Ethereum? Why would Ethereum go to 5K? It already hit like 5K once and then just completely tanked. You know, that's the thing with cryptos though. Cryptos also tend to stay dormant. Because it needs its own special set of fundamentals to make those moves happen. Whereas gold has those situations happening like on a daily basis. Trump is tweeting something, someone wants something, some country wants to go to war with another country. We got the rate cuts in the works. Whereas Ethereum, you have to lock into its own specific kind of fundamentals here. I don't know, maybe if ETH moves out based off geopolitical tensions, then that could be something, but I'm not sure about that. I think gold would have a chance, but that's gonna take some while to mature. Let's see. Gold, if you put $100, 142, yeah, it's not like the greatest. See, people believe more gold will hit it more than ETH. Gold up or down? That's the daily. I wish there was one for the monthly time frame. Yeah, there's no other gold bets to make. It's just on the daily on the 7th, but this is really random here. I don't know why the volume says $52. That's how much people probably put in so far in this bet. Kind of like a low volume, 52 bucks. So I reckon it's a platform which pays you then, I guess. The exchange. They have like money in escrow and they use that money to pay you. I don't think it's based off of like the people who are betting on the specific event. So that money on this exchange, Poly Market, is like a big bank. And the idea is, how do they make money? Sell your yes or no shares at any time or wait until the market ends. Oh yeah, and it fluctuates too. So I think you can actually secure a bit earlier if you wanted to, I guess. Or wait until the market ends to redeem. Don't redeem it. Winning shares for $1 each. Create an account and place your first trade in minutes. Don't redeem it. Hey, so that's good news. That means you can effectively manage your risk if you're allowed to pull out. You can manage risk. So you're going to see the daily there. If that New York session does not move up and you think gold is going to close bullish and we're heading towards London close and it's still not moved up, then you can manage your risk. Was stuck in that consolidation for ages. 40 pips and Audi. Mental drainage. Yeah, it's mental drainage over here, man. This is why I'm on Poly Market. Because I know it's not doing anything. I'm waiting in 20 minutes. This is going to do something over here. And I'm going to take a trade. But in the meantime, I'm looking at my side hustle here. Next side hustle. But that Jesus Christ one is pretty solid. Only problem is it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for it to play out. But hey, it's a 1 to 2 risk reward. What do you think, chat? I can't believe it's 49%. People actually believe that he will return before GTA 6. And let's make the risk reward pretty good. It's like 100. 1 to 2. Damn, Daniel. This could be like for Christmas presents. You could just start planning now for Christmas presents for the family. Just put $1,000 in now. By Christmas, I'll have $2,000. Let's go. Let's go hack the Matrix. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Trump out as president. GTA 6 released. 100k you get 200k? Could you imagine? 100k you're gonna get 200k. You put $1 million, you're gonna get 1.3 million. Wow, only? I would say like 2 million. 1.3 million. You put... Wait, what the hell is this? You put 10 million, you get 2.3? What kind of retarded bet is that? Well, I guess this Poly Market thing is not a complete... Like, they gotta have some sort of logic here, obviously. Because then this would be like free money. You're gonna put a lot of money in here. But yeah, what kind of bet is that? Why do you put like... This is a cap, 2.3 million. Even from 1 million, it's not as advantageous anymore. You get like $357,000. It's not as advantageous. Are you betting like, you know, $10,000, $50,000? Pretty good. Yeah, so I got this one bookmarked. Hey, but none of this is financial advice. This is not gambling. Like, well, we're not doing live gambling or anything over here, you know. So we're just doing this for educational purposes only. That's all that this is, YouTube. Educational purposes. See, Goldie's trying to attempt to break. It needs to get through that wick, I guess. This is going to be like 40 by 44.67. Could do 100k 10 times. You could probably, but I think where they might get you is the payout method. They might have, even if you create like another account, they might get you with a payout method unless you start using mules in the real world, like use other people's accounts with their cards and everything to make the deposits. Then I think that would work. But yeah, there's always like something. They obviously thought about this. So, you know, you can put 100K in your mom's account, your brother's account, your sister's account, and then make the deposits. No. 15 shotgun to the downside doesn't look too bad if this candle flips and breaks its lows. It looked pretty good as it was breaking, that's true, but you see there's still a bit of a shock in the water. You can still see the fake outs happening. Even look at this on the 15. Either way, candlestick closed below that area and just completely mopped up. Next candle just opened and then closed bullish. Or like 83 pips. So that's what we mean. Like this whole section here is a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this PA. Price seriously needs to break out of this. And it's not like we have anything too important like besides the ADP. Today we got ADP, 50 minutes past New York Open, then ISM, JOLTS job openings, but I feel like it's too early for us to be worrying about this now. Like this at 8:15. It's like in basically 2 hours, 15 minutes. Or like 30 minutes. Yes, finally. Break away, Goldie. Fly. Fly, Goldie. Be free. Yeah, this is perfect. So so this is the game plan. The game plan is wait for gold to preferably break through this area, but we're just about getting ready to get into a new session. So with this new session here in the next 10 minutes, we're gonna have like fresh volume come in off this hourly candlestick right over here. So ideally we want to see price move out of this zone. Daily bias is bearish, but right now I wouldn't be too focused on the daily bias being bearish because price is clearly still trying to move upwards. So we want to see price break here, continue to move up bullish, and then look for those entry confirmations, the accumulation continuations. If we can just distribute from this section. Price action wise, it's in a tricky spot generally speaking because you have a resistance right over here on the 15. And you got the support that got faked out right over here too. But that support is still nice if price would actually come and break it towards like 44.50. But it's in a very, very delicate, tricky situation here. And I think it's just trying to accumulate more orders. And because it already tried here once. It remember tried that little break on the lower time frame. It did have a break, but it couldn't sustain it. So I think it came back down to accumulate on a bigger range. To attempt to try and break this and then fill that wick to continue moving up. That's why it's like broken into this bigger range. So it needs more volume. So we'll see if it gets what it wants, and then if it starts breaking, that'll be perfect. But right now, very delicate situation this is. Very delicate between this range from this support to that resistance. So, you know, be careful. If you're not feeling like trading too much, you know, it's one of those days where you really would prefer not to get involved until you see it actually move somewhere. Because, you know, at the same time, it could just hold this range up until the ADP. It could literally hold that range up until the ADP too. So you just want to be cautious approaching the market here today. And that's why I said, don't wait till the new year. Don't wait till the new year to start trading. A lot of y'all waited till the new year. December was crazy. December was moving beautifully. Now you wait till the new year and you see what you get in the new year. You get what everybody else gets. Majority of people would not be trading during that December break, but that's when all the clean volume was happening. So now you see it coming in the new year and you're trying your challenges when price is doing this. This is what we're speaking about in 2026 as we're approaching, in 2025 as we're approaching the end. This is literally what we're speaking about, because I've been here before. You know, I've been here before, and that's why I knew like we had to lock in December a little bit. That's why December was a pretty good month, and kind of like preempting this too. So just be a bit cautious, and at least, man, for the next market cycle, you're gonna know it. You're gonna know it. If price is moving in December, you're gonna know it. So yeah, guys. I will see you tomorrow in London session. Let's get it. Take care, everybody. Be careful. Be careful. I will see you tomorrow. Adios.
What